Arirang Radio.
We've all done it before, sat there and asked ourselves or somebody around us, yo, what if? So a full hour of everybody's perspective on the what if of the day with our troublemakers, Joel and Dane in the studio. What's up?
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back.
I know it. Why does it? I don't know why. It feels like it's been a long time since I've been here.
It's because, Joel, you've been busy. So congratulations on your Seoul Fashion Week debut. Yeah.
Thank you.
It looks so good.
So good.
I only look
amazing.
good because what do you call it? I was dressed in a way that I would never ever dress otherwise. Like, not that no, I do love the clothes that they gave me. So I'm just gonna plug a little bit, but what do you call it? A designer flew in from Italy, Francesca Catone, and she dressed me, and I was her main pick model. I think there was like maybe 10 of us, but I was the first to walk, and I was also in the finale and everything. So it was really great. It was really fun. It was a good experience. I must hand it to runway models because there is no way I could do that as a job. Because like, I don't know. I always thought it was kind of like a stereotype that it's so hectic behind the scenes.
It normally is.
I cannot be in that kind of chaos. I was like really stressing out.
They scream a lot behind
I
the
know.
scenes of fashion shows.
Yeah, and I became friends with this Italian girl that also came from Italy, and I was like, are fashion shows usually like this? Because like those staff were all Italian people, so I was like, were they normally like this? And it's like, oh, this is not bad at all. And I was like, are you kidding me? Because like, if it's any worse than this, like they weren't yelling at me, but like I was like, hey, like, everyone's like running around because they have to like, change really fast and like in between walks, and I was like, oh my god.
That's why models have it's not about like they're not embarrassed about being completely naked.
So about that, when I went there and I was behind, and everyone was like, male, female, don't matter. Everyone was like naked, and I was like, is this normal? Like this is
Well,
weird.
that's the thing because like the quick changes, there's no room for any type of
Right.
like self-consciousness or anything because you have to get into the looks. You literally are supposed to be modeling the clothes, so it's not really literally not nobody really is caring,
no one's got time for that. But I'm from like the idol people where people stand behind curtains and all like in privacy, and then suddenly everyone's walking around hanging out willy-nilly,
That's the part of really being professional.
No, I know. Believe me. I mean, everyone was there was very professional. It was just a new experience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was like, whoa.
It gets really hectic behind the scenes. Everybody's yelling at each other. And it goes back by the millisecond too.
Oh, yeah,
it's worse than like standbys for singers because like everybody has to be walking out at a certain time, and it's timed with the music, and the looks have to be in order, and so everybody's it's chaotic.
It was very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. That's the only thing in the entertainment sphere that I think I have not tried up until last weekend, and I was really kind of nervous. I mean, all you're doing is really walking. You're not really doing much. But I was like, why am I so nervous? But
the walking too is there's also a finesse to it.
Yeah, and like, there's a route you have to follow, but you can't look at the ground, so you got to memorize it. And it's like, because it wasn't just like a straight catwalk thing; it was like a route. So I was like, okay, so I got to memorize all this. And there's like, you got to turn it a certain way. You can't do all this. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. But
It's not just walking down the runway; it's a lot more. Dane, how was your weekend?
It's been pretty good. I started to kind of sort out plans with my family
Ooh,
Okay.
for a small reunion.
for Chuseok.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so how do you normally spend Chuseok? Are you kunjip? Or do you guys do chesa? Like, how does that dynamic work for
We
you guys?
don't really do chesa, but we meet up with everybody and then kind of spend some great time together.
How big is your family, if you don't mind me asking?
It's pretty small.
Okay.
I think it's 8 to 10 people would kind of meet up and
Okay,
have
not
a nice
bad.
dinner together, and then
Oh.
we would just go back to each other's home.
Mom's side, dad's side.
Mom's side.
Okay. So
okay.
so mom has the upper hand. That's good. Okay. No, because Joel surprisingly has a big family,
I know.
and his chesa
do.
is like intense.
Yeah, no, our family, because it's 큰 할아버지, my 할아버지, and 작은 할아버지. All of us get together, and there's a lot of people.
Yeah. So he's got like more Korean like Taesa than most of my Korean friends. Like he has to go down to like it's pretty intense.
Like when I first came here, especially because my mom's not here now, and I have to go like 엄마 대표로. Y'all not going this year, but like usually I have to go do that. And
it's out of Seoul. It's
Daegu or Daejeon. It depends on the year.
Oh, so you guys go back and forth.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I had to learn like all the, all this
Ritual
stuff and all the lighting the inside. Like I had to learn all of that. And I do it now every year, except for this year. I'm not doing it this year, but yeah, I think it's very cool. You know what I mean? It's like, it's very traditional. And like Isak, and we've talked about on the show, but it's kind of, in a lot of ways, in modern Korean society, disappearing a lot.
Oh, it is.
Like Taesa and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't do it anymore or don't know how to do it anymore. But it's sad because I think it's very charming and I think it's important, regardless of what religion you are, because a lot of my family don't, obviously, like they are of a different religion now, but they still do it because it's tradition, because it's respect to elders and all that stuff. But
Okay.
I love doing it.
Okay.
Right.
So we've had a few similar questions to this in the past, but now that Dane's here, and we've never really asked this to Dane, and today's question is a little bit more specific. Our what if for today is, if you could selectively choose memories that you could erase, would you? And what? So the first big question is, would you? Now, we've talked a lot about this on the show with many different scenarios. I myself and a lot of our guests included say that we try to live without regrets and we would love to, not really go back and change anything because those embarrassing or whatever experiences are what help shape you who you are now. So I myself am also very much into this, but I also love to ask our K-pop and fam, what if, and this could be, you can go as deep with it as possible, whatever you want. We don't want to out any of our K-pop and fam in any way. But sometimes there might be some traumatic stuff that you might want to selectively take out that you just don't want to see. Maybe there's some stuff that you don't necessarily, it has to do with like your life choices, but like maybe something you saw by accident or you experienced by accident. You're like, honestly, I think I could have lived my entire life without having to see that.
Some sort of like traumatic.
Right. So like if you could like cut bits and pieces, like select, how we selectively choose things off of our computer to delete. It's like our emails. We selectively choose emails and stuff like that to erase. If you could do that with your memory, would you? And if you would, what would you want to erase? So Aaron is one of our K-pop and fam who is always in the aspect of you live with no regrets. So always is going to be answer is no.
Right.
Now, I normally am the one that is like this too, but after thinking about this being very selective, I actually have a few things that I would like to, but I can't really talk about them on the show.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm in the same boat as you, so I kind of picked something that I can talk about on the show.
And it has so I'll tell you the most PG version of this that I can think about. It had to do with my parents.
Okay.
And I would like to cut it out of my imagination or my memory as much as possible. I think the 99.9% of my listeners can think about what that is. But yeah, so like stuff like that. Like I could live a lifetime without having to see.
Of course. Who wants to see that? Cooking. I don't know. But no, yeah.
So yeah, I think if I could have a selective memory and like pick and choose memories, well, because like bad memories specifically, if there's some stuff that I can erase that I would make space for better memories, I think it would be better.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Aaron, yes, I did. So they asked the question. Yeah, I did.
Did what?
Oh, they asked the question.
Oh,
the same question?
Yeah. So they asked me.
Oh, okay.
What if it was that, and I just confirmed.
Okay.
So yes.
Turn on the 방송 after 10 p.m. for the real answer.
I wish we could have a 10 p.m. version of the show too. Okay, so Joel, what about you?
Well, my answer is those types of answers that you just put out. Of course, I have some of those, but I'm gonna go for a little bit something clear. So when I was they would go back and erase certain things when I was an idol, because contrary to what you guys might see here now, me 10 years later, how I act and stuff, I was not like that before. I was very quiet. I didn't talk. My real personality was kind of pushed down really hard by my management. They were very adamant about breaking me down and making me just be quiet. And which is, me, it's not very easy, but they did it. And a lot of the things that I had to see and do and experience were not good, and they really, really screwed up my 예능감 really bad, my confidence really bad. So even when I first started going on 예능s and stuff, I was terrible at it because I was so used to. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna get yelled at? Because I got all those those things happening.
The
to me
feedback
before.
and whatnot.
So I would go back and erase that out of my mind because I don't care if those people that did that they remember that. But if I don't remember it, I think it would make me a little bit less guarded if I go out on TV or on radio. Not so much radio, but
so out of the experience that you had, you wish you could kind of go back and kind of gain that confidence again without having to go through all of that.
Well, yeah, don't get me wrong. I have it back now.
Right.
But it took me a long time to get back to
work
my
back.
original personality back.
Okay, Dean, what about you?
Mine's not really as serious as the ones you guys put up, but
Oh, mine's not serious.
It is if you think about it.
Mine's not serious.
I was getting a little nervous. Yeah, I chose something really kind of funny actually.
Okay.
I used to learn acting
Oh, really?
How are we supposed to know that?
for a
We didn't know
while.
that.
For a while, and by a while I mean 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And when you learn acting, you have to, very often you have to film yourself act and
To monitor.
right? And even nowadays, I occasionally just go back and look up my album and try to watch some of the clips, and it's the worst.
I never do that.
It's the worst.
Hey, you don't do that.
You know what though?
You just cannot resist it. You see the thumbnail, you cannot resist but to click it and watch for at least 5 seconds.
Why do you torture yourself, Dane?
So that's the secret.
Joel sends me videos of Isaac and Dion, and I'm just like, stop, because I do not want to torture
I
myself.
haven't done that in a long time.
But you were the first to react when somebody else posted something about me. Oh,
That is true.
So one of the SMTown music videos that I was in was apparently on I Live Alone, 나혼산, and I was like, why was that there?
That wasn't me. I saw
I know
that story. It wasn't me.
It was somebody else who tagged me, and it was one of my other friends, and I posted, and I was just like, why? That music video is 50 years old. Why?
You know what? That's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but I find it easy for me to never go back. Usually this is what I do. I will almost never monitor things that I come out on. I can't see myself on TV. And I certainly don't go back years later and revisit it. My music video, my debut music video, I haven't seen it in God, I don't know how long. The only time I ever hear that song is when, for whatever reason, you guys turn it on here. So, which occasionally happens. So when your album comes back, they're gonna be blasting it all over. Believe me.
Well, so that's the thing. I mean, it's great to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Thing. So I mean, you're different than us because I would never torture myself like that.
I mean, for me, it's quite the opposite. I do that whenever I feel when I feel really blue or really low.
Oh,
really
really?
down, yeah.
So that's a boost for you.
Those clips really make me feel like at least I'm better than this.
Oh, so you've come a far way.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're so positive.
I've made this far
well, that's
compared
actually
to myself back in
back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do that for that.
Yeah, I turn that on. I'm like, oh, I just get more sad. I'm like, I can't.
yeah. For me, when I watch older stuff, it's kind of like watching home videos. It's just why?
God knows, I barely remember that time. Honestly, I remember certain parts of it, but man, you know what? You're pretty introspective in that regard because ain't no way.
Do you guys ever have Eber kick moments where you kick the blankets, you might be driving or something and just randomly the most embarrassing thing just randomly pops into your head?
Yeah, of course.
Always.
Of course.
I know, you're supposed to be I live with no regrets. Every moment is a teaching moment. No, they're not. Some of them, I literally facepalm really hard when I think about it. Some of them are almost 2 decades old at this point. And I think about it, I'm like, oh. Why? What was I thinking? Like that. Do you guys have that?
Every time I drive.
Really?
Every time I drive when I'm in traffic, my mind will wander to something so random. I'll be like,
I don't. Some like,
Why would I say that?
I'll just be like walking around. It's not like I'm actively thinking about it. Just like randomly
it just pops
up
into my head, and it would be the most random thing. Texting an ex at 2 a.m. From everything from that, or like not getting my petty revenge on an ex when I saw them like randomly. I was supposed to like throw salt at them or something. Like that, you know what I mean? I just wanted to be really petty, but like
Salt.
I was just like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
there's so many of those. I hate them. Aaron says that he hates the sound of his voice, so I never review things that I've done. You know what? Getting used to your voice is really hard to do.
I used to hate the sound of my voice when I talked. I'm used to it now, but back then I was like, okay, when we were in school, you do like a school project or something, and then like you'd have it on video or whatever, like have to narrate over it or something, and we'd play it in front of the whole class. I'd be like, oh my god, that's what I sound like.
It's not that I really hate it, but it just it sounded really weird. The
Compared
first time
to-
I heard my
course.
own voice, it was really weird.
Oh yeah, all of us.
I mean, but you know what? I got used to it pretty quickly, though.
It helps if you constantly practice.
Yeah.
To kind of get into the swing of things. All right, so despite the fact that all of us have said that we would not really want to erase our memory or go back and change anything, today we actually agreed on it wouldn't be bad to selectively erase some things if we
of
could.
course. As long as it's selective.
Right. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like it's if it's selective, I think that's like the main point. Because any of these questions that we've had in the past have always like, would you like to go back to when you're that age and like change things or like, go back and redo things? I don't think I would do that. But if I can selectively choose what
cut out.
to and not to see or like unsee things or unfeel certain things, I think that would be pretty cool.
But do remember that just because you cut it out of your memory, the people that were there or that experienced it with you or were the other side of it still do remember. So, you got to keep that in mind too. So if you acted really dumb,
That's a really good point.
then the other person still remembers that.
Well, right, but still, there's some things best left erased.
That's true.
Right.
If I could.
Oh, like at least you can feign ignorance to yourself. That's all you
Can
need.
I?
Oh God, I don't want to think about it.
Certain things get burned into your brain that just never leave.
I live perpetually in shame of not because they were really bad things or something, but that I've seen or done in the past that are just so cringeworthy. I can't. I don't even think about it.
You know, when you think of like embarrassing things, I think there's one story I always tell on air or when somebody asks like, what's your most embarrassing moment? I have one, but there's a lot more after that. It's just that there's just this one story that's a lot easier to tell. When it comes to like your embarrassing stories, I got a lot. And there's probably even more that like I'm just completely mortified about that I like try to dig under in the deep subconscious of myself as much as possible. But every time somebody asks, oh, like, what's your most embarrassing story? Like, I have a story from when I was in like second grade.
Okay. And this bothers you still?
Yeah.
I think it's not about it bothers me. It's just, it's such a oddly vivid memory that it tends to come to the front when I'm asked.
Same.
Okay.
Same.
So it's not like it's the most embarrassing thing in my entire life. I have way more embarrassing things afterwards. But like, I think it's the most general story to tell everybody without thinking too hard about it.
Maybe because that was like one of the first
Maybe.
embarrassing memories.
Maybe.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
true.
like one of my first
Yeah.
embarrassing memories. And so it's kind of stuck.
And what is that?
Oh, you want to hear the story?
Yeah.
So in my school, when the bell rang, we had to freeze.
Okay.
That was a thing. So like we literally had to freeze and not move. But of course we're kids. We take it to like the next level. You could have just stood still, but we're like, you know what I mean? But at my school, until the teachers blew the whistle, we had to like stay still for a good like 5 minutes. I was in second grade. One of my skirts, the zipper was loose. I was a tomboy and I was on the swings. The bell rang. I jumped off the swing and my skirt fell down. But I didn't know this
Oh.
because I didn't notice that it fell down. And so I stood there for a good 5 minutes in my underwear.
Oh my God. Well, something must be about.
That's terrifying.
What?
I wasn't that mortified though. I mean, it's embarrassing, but like considering how the level of like, oh my God, I was just like,
It must be something about second grade because I have a story from second grade too that I still remember really vividly. That's very embarrassing. So like when you leave the school building, you're not allowed to go back into the building.
Oh, we were like that too.
Yeah. And I stupidly didn't go to the bathroom before I left. So the second I left, I was like, because I used to walk home. You know, in the States, you kind of walk home. And I remember I had to go to the bathroom. So number one, so bad that like I was like just left the house. I was like, please, I gotta get back into school, but no one was there because they lock the doors after you leave. And I peed my pants in front of everybody when I was in second grade. I think about it, because there was like a little pond, and I was like crying, and I was so embarrassed. I like ran and I jumped in the pond to wash off.
Oh, that's actually that's smart.
And then I
That's
walked
actually
home
smart.
wet as a dog.
That's smart. I would rather have ran home wet as a dog. All right, so we have a fun situation. We're all friends today. We're not making them change genders here. So we're going to jump into our skit for today. You guys ready?
Of course.
All right.
Yep.
Music, cue. All right, guys, isn't it great to meet up all three of us? I really hate when you two fight. I mean, everything's okay, right? We're back to being besties?
We didn't fight. It was just weird for a few days. I don't choose love over friends.
I mean, that sounds promising. Dane, like, what about you? Is everything forgotten?
Of course. Thanks to you, we're back to being the three musketeers.
Okay, so you know I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I've been dying to know what happened. Like, so you two like the same girl, but she ended up with another guy?
Us? The three musketeers?
Musketeers?
Fight over a girl? Never.
What is a musketeer?
Musketeer.
Musketeers. Musketeers. Sorry. I've never heard that word.
Dane.
Oh, she's the one to try to get in between our friendship. We didn't pursue her.
Exactly. I was just showing interest in a girl who approached me first.
And I didn't know the girl Joel had been talking about was her and made a move.
Wait. So you two ended up dating her at like the same time?
Whoa. Yeah. We didn't know she was going on dates with us at the same time.
She only told me she could meet on the weekdays.
And apparently she told me she could only go out on the weekends.
Wait, didn't you guys think that was odd?
She only focused on us the whole time we're out.
Me too. I just thought she was busy, but then Dane ran into us on a date.
I was so shocked.
Yeah,
and
Dane.
hurt. It was crazy.
Yeah, Dane didn't even let me explain that's what made us awkward for a while.
Okay, so why am I just hearing about this now? I mean, tell me more.
I thought Joel was going behind my back, but then we talked and we saw her on the date with another guy. And yeah, end of story.
Dang. If I could, I'd love to erase this memory.
Me too. We could have lost our friendship for a girl.
You know what? I told you that you needed to make me help you guys get the girls. You two have the worst taste in ladies. Next time, I'm setting you two up.
This is according to the Ministry of the Interior and Safety. Currently, a heat wave warning has been issued in most parts of the country. Refrain from outdoor work such as rice paddies, fields, and construction sites from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. when it is the hottest. Prepare thoroughly for the heat wave by wearing well-ventilated work clothes when working in a facility house or outdoors, drinking enough water, and having a short break frequently. When you go out, wear light and loose clothes, wear a hat or UV protective umbrella, and carry water with you. If you have symptoms such as dizziness, nausea, or headache, please rest in cool place. Now we go back to our regular program. You're listening to Arirang Radio.
Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Estamos escuchando Arirang Radio desde Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Where are you listening from? Let us know. Leave it at arirangradio.com.
That was some BTS for you guys with Idol, and that was Joel's request.
Yeah, well, you know, Idol and everything associated with it. Now, the song is a very positive song, but I was like, you know what? It's in the title, and I actually do like that song. Although I do like the Nicki Minaj remix. I like that one. But yeah, that's why I chose BTS's Idol.
Okay.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Okay, iconic. Yeah, today's topic, surprisingly, we've been talking a lot about fun stuff that happened and embarrassing stories. Aaron says that I ran into an open car door once when I was in 4th grade.
Oh.
I've done that before. It hurts.
An open car door? I don't think I've ever done that. I fell on a bee one time and when I was like really young. That's why I'm deathly afraid of bees because I fell on it and it was like dying already, but it stung my hand and it traumatized me. But it was in a car parking lot near a car, so kind of related. I was like 4 or 5. I don't remember, but I mean I do remember. But it was pretty bad. I hate bees. If I see a bee now, like I know I'm a big macho man, but like if I see a bee, I run like a pansy. Like I'm like, oh no. And everyone's like, why are you so afraid of bees? And I'm like, it's complicated. Leave me alone.
Talking about bees, I'm allergic to bee stings. I actually have to have an EpiPen on me because I'm allergic to bee stings, but I don't want to. I'm not around bees enough to have an EpiPen.
Yeah. But where you live, I think there's probably in the spring, there's probably tons of them.
Right. So actually, I didn't even know I was allergic to bees until there's a few years that went by when I was younger that whenever a fly or any type of bug other than a mosquito comes near my ear or like my head, my automatic reaction is to like really like a huge flinch. So it's not like I literally like clamp up and I never knew why I was so afraid of that sound. And I asked my mom and she was just like, oh, you got stung by a bee when you were younger and you were rushed to the emergency room. And I was like, why? And she was like, you had an allergic reaction. But it was apparently like around like my neck or something. And so that's why I'm like, whenever the sound gets close to me, it's an auto. I have no memory of this.
Isn't that crazy how you don't remember it at all?
But my
your body remembers.
my body remembers the trauma. And so anytime something buzzes around my head, my reaction is pretty intense. And everybody's like, what's wrong with you? God. And I was like, oh, sorry. Like, because I'm not afraid of them now. Like, I think bees are cute and like, whatever, but yeah, apparently it's like it's a natural reaction that I have,
a primal instinct.
And in Korea we have 펄집, like chim, like they actually use it in acupuncture to use bees to sting you.
Really?
Yeah, they do. And it's especially supposed to be like helpful for
especially
stuff.
trained bees or just
no,
regular
they die
bees?
when you sting.
Yeah,
don't
so
they?
they
Honey
for
bee?
it. Yeah, honeybees. They take them in pliers and then they put it into you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they make you sting it on purpose. Apparently there's some health benefits, but I'm allergic, so.
Never. Never, ever.
Joel, let's go with your survey that we're going to be looking at for today. So obviously that has to do with memory. So what kind of survey did you bring?
So it's the same thing that you asked, like kicking your blanket in the middle of the night, like punching the air, like that sort of reaction. What do people, what experiences do they think of that causes this sort of reaction?
I want to see how many I make, because I feel like I might make the whole list.
I can relate to a lot of these, so I know where you're coming from.
Okay. So what are they?
So the top one is 22.6%. Falling down in the middle of the street. I don't really care about that. Like, I'm like, whatever, what happens? Tripping in the street in front of all these people or something like that. Does that ever happen to you guys?
It happened to me 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
It was in my apartment complex. I was with a friend. We were going to go get coffee. And I slipped because our playground in my apartment complex is sand. So it's an actual sandbox, which is not common these days.
It's
I slipped on some of the sand and I had my hands in my pocket. Do not walk with your hands in your pocket, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, yeah.
So this was 2 years ago. I'm an old woman and I was literally like half crying. I was like hyperventilating crying because like I hit my knee, but I hit it at a really awkward angle. So when you hit your funny bone?
Yeah.
And you can't cry, but you can't laugh, but it like hurts, but it's like hilarious at the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, I had so many weird sounds coming out of me. And there was this lady that was passing by. She was like, do I help her or do I just pass? It wasn't really, it was kind of embarrassing, but it just hurt.
Who was that grown lady crying?
It's like, she okay?
Oh my God.
What else?
Okay, so at 17.3 we have, this has happened to me.
So I already have one. Okay, so one.
Sending the wrong message to someone with something embarrassing. That has happened to me. So say you're supposed, it's meant for someone else, but you said it's that has happened to me. We're not going to get into it. 5.1, 5.1, sleep talking on the bus or train. I don't know if I sleep talk.
Sleep talking on the bus.
Not sleep talking, but I've slept, like I fell on somebody's shoulder before.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah.
I've also fallen asleep, supposed to get off its Osan and ended up in Cheonan.
Oh,
That's happened to me before too. 10%. accidentally responding to someone calling or complimenting someone that's meant for someone else. So like, someone's like, hey, and then like,
I did that in my apartment complex like last year.
What's going on in your apartment complex? There's a lot of problems going on.
So in the playground, there's this little girl. I'm so used to kids in Korea just waving at me because I'm a foreigner. Mm-hmm. And so I'm so used to it that like this little girl was just like, and I was like, oh, hi. I realized she was saying hi to her friend behind me. I was like, oh,
Who's
never
that?
mind. Yeah. She looked at me like I was crazy, and I was like, oh. And I looked back, and her friend was coming, and I was like,
She's
oh.
like, who are you?
Like, why is this weird foreigner waving at me? Okay, what else?
7.3, we got cringy late night pictures or comments, but then like the next day you wake up and you're like, oh God, what was I doing? Because in the middle of the night, you're kind of like in your feels a little bit, especially if you're drunk. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, that happens to me a lot. I go back and I have to delete things off the gram. So I'm like, God, dang
I've done that.
No way. Let's see. Oh, this one, 9.0, old picture discovery, or like getting people seeing your old pictures when they're not supposed to. So that doesn't bother me. I guess if you got like, really done up, then maybe like you don't want people to see your old pictures. But I'm an open book. Me and all my history is all out there. I don't care.
I can show you guys like my debut pictures if you want from like when I was 10. If you guys want, I don't care. Like
put them up
all
on
the
the gram.
embarrassing pictures, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's also because we're all celebrities. You know what I mean? Like we went through that like celebrity process. We're gonna have weird pictures of us regardless.
Yeah,
like,
I don't care.
It's kind of
That
something
was
I have
such
to
a
live with.
big deal back in the day, but now it's just whatever.
But I think because you gotta remember, this is Korea, and a lot of people in Korea, like if we're gonna be honest, a lot of people do little things to their face and stuff like that. So not everybody, but a lot do, and a lot of people don't want people to see
The before.
Right? They only like the after.
Right.
And then another one is 7.0% is like using a word incorrectly.
Oh, I've done that.
Like I'd be like,
I just did that.
what? Oh, what?
Oh, the Three Musketeers?
Oh, yeah.
Mosquitoes.
I'll be like, oh, that's so vapid. You know what I mean? And then, but like, it's not applicable to the situation whatsoever. Like something like that, which I don't find that. I don't find
I've
any of
done
these
that
to
too.
be crazy embarrassing. But I don't know. I think if you like get drunk and text your ex, like that's way worse. I think.
Lynn was saying it doesn't bother Joel because Joel has always been a looker.
No, I have not.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
kid yourself.
Oh yeah, I agree.
When I first met Isak,
I got four.
You got 4?
Out of all those.
I don't think I got any.
I got 4.
Like maybe sending the wrong message to someone. I always
never done
check
that.
what I have, because when you Control C, Control V, like copy and paste, I always check what is copied, because
I've never done that.
Yeah,
Really?
same. Whenever I write something really like, whenever I write long text, I pre-write it and just proofread first, and then I just tend to send.
Well, I don't do that, but like
right
I
person.
don't have enough simultaneous conversations going on for me to mistake somebody.
I accidentally sent because I have a very colorful language outside of being a
Broadcast.
celebrity or on broadcasting. I accidentally sent like texts that were colorful to literally the Isanim of my company in English. But luckily, most texting apps these days have an unsend feature. So like I unsend it, I'd be like, oh,
Or you can delete it.
잘못 보냈습니다, like or something like that. But yeah, no, that happens actually more often than you'd think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick song break. This is Crush's track, Dane's Request. 잊을만 하면. Bittersweet.
잊을만 하면. Yeah, I mean, we talked about a lot of different memories of our lives, but I think the most crucial memory should always be the one we made with our loved ones.
Aww.
You were so sweet. You know that?
And that's why he's like the songwriter extraordinaire over here. He's
We
got
don't-
in his feels.
We don't really tend to talk about that in public, but yeah, I think that is the most crucial memory we will ever have in our lives. So I chose a song because it's really sweet, nostalgic, and yeah.
Okay, I love the dynamic between the
I'm
two
raging
of you.
and he's all being sweet and stuff. Like
That's why we have the both of you in the studio. It balances out. So we have Crush's 잊을만 하면 Bittersweet, and more of the show's coming up next.
You want to message me? Go
RIRANG.
ArirangRadio.com.
And we continue on with our topic of today. If we could select the memory that we could get rid of, would we? And what would we? All three of us agree that we probably would. So we have some more surveys to look at, and Dane's going to help us out. Dane, what survey are we looking at?
I brought a survey people took on when they would most want to rewind back time.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
To do something, or to fix something, or
Okay.
and not do those kind of stuff. And the first place, 25.6% of the people said they want to rewind back time when they're about to wake up, so that they can just go back to sleep again.
That's a smart answer.
It's a really good one.
You get those days where you wake up and you're like, I hate my life. That's on days like that.
Yeah, you want to go back to sleep. So you rewind it so you can go back to sleep. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
I think of this every morning. Every morning.
Okay, what else?
And for the next place, 16.2% of the people said they want to rewind back time when they're about to return to their regular life after having a really good trip or retreat.
Vacation.
Yeah, vacation.
You want to go back to that? I hate when I come back from vacation. I'm like, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Like,
So they pretty much want to relive.
Yeah.
They want to stay in the vacation
Oh,
bliss.
okay.
instead
Forever.
Forever.
oh, okay.
Go back to the vacation day one.
Not that anybody has bills to pay or anything. I'm just, but, hey, listen, in an ideal world.
Right.
And
Are you an ST?
IFJ.
Oh, okay. What else?
Here's a really sad one.
God.
12.3% of people said they want to go back in time after breaking up with their loved ones.
I don't think so. No.
I don't think this would fit into everybody's lives, but for me, maybe.
Really?
Maybe. If I could do things differently. then-
Nah.
No, I am horrendously bitter. We're not like you, okay?
Pain is so sweet.
I know.
Pain is so sweet. I wouldn't.
I have nothing but vile spite in my heart.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just kidding. I've never
No
dated.
exes.
Yeah.
No exes.
Moving on. Moving on. 8.9% of the people said they've got a case of the Mondays, and want to rewind time every Monday.
So we can go back to the weekend.
Yep.
Okay.
I got the case of Mondays today, and it's Wednesday. I got a case of Monday every day. Every day is Monday except for Friday, Saturday.
Case of the weekdays.
There you go.
Right.
And there's a funny one.
Okay.
People want to. 2.9% of the people said they want to rewind time when they missed the deadline for time sales.
Time sales.
Yeah.
Like selling something?
So there's a sale that's only lasting for a limited amount of time.
Oh, that
right?
kind of sale. Oh, yeah.
So like you have 5 minutes left to make a purchase of like 50% off of like that's like a really expensive hair
Something
dryer.
you desire. Like, it could be like anything, iPhone, anything.
Oh, see,
You know, there's like really short amount of time. Like you get a ham set for like $2, but it's only like for 5 minutes. Those
Yeah,
kinds.
yeah, okay,
Those
yeah.
kind of time sales.
I'm not. Yeah,
No, God 7, we ain't missing our exes. I do not miss my exes.
who's that? Who's that? Who?
I ain't missing my exes. No.
What's their name?
No. No exes. You know what? Joel, you know how you saw my ex a while back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot his name.
Oh, really?
Oh,
How is that
how is that
possible? Did you guys
possible?
date for a long
Yeah,
time?
we did.
How?
No, I was like, wait, what was his name again?
Oh my god.
How long was that? How long ago was that?
Oh,
Did you guys dated? Oh.
No, but it's been a long time. It's been like 13 years since we broke up. So like it's a
13
long
years.
yeah.
Oh.
I ran into you guys on base like way before my debut, like way before, years and years before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was been a long time. You know what though? I'm not even hating on it because
No, because once he said it, I was like, oh yeah, him. And then I was like, wait, what was his name again?
But I believe that you learn from these experiences and
Yeah, exes, I don't want to go back.
and going back is, I would say, 99% of the time not working out, like ever.
I partially agree, and partially don't.
I feel
Because-
that Dane probably wants to do better,
Yeah.
like on his part.
But I forget how young you are, the life experience that you I still have to
Maybe, yeah,
Oh yeah,
experience it.
Dane's a
Maybe.
baby. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, like
We always play friends, so
Yeah.
I keep thinking that he's older.
because like in here we're all
He's such a
the same
baby.
age. Yeah. What year were you born again? You're
I
young,
was
right?
born in 1999.
That's still pretty young.
Yeah.
I came to Korea when he
I
was
know.
born.
Oh my god.
Maybe I maybe I glorified, like dramatized my history too much.
Well, no. As a songwriter, I feel that is not a bad characteristic of it. But also, I feel that like, do I wish that I can go back to certain relationships and maybe do different on my part? Yeah, like I could have handled certain situations differently, but still, I would never go back to an ex.
Yeah, no. Maybe for like, some people might argue it might be for like a day or two, but then after that, no. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Pidinim just reminded me of something I totally
What is
forgot.
that?
Oh,
Pidinim
what is
says
this?
happy Chuseok.
Oh my god. Pidinim, you don't have to do this for us.
I totally forgot about it
Wow.
until she wrote it down on the piece of
I didn't
paper.
even bring anything. I feel bad.
And you guys have happy Chuseok messages on top. So we happy Chuseok to both of
Oh
you.
my-
And you can never go anywhere.
I'm never
This
going
is
anywhere.
so
Are you kidding me?
sweet.
You can never go anywhere. And you two are coming back next week. These two are in the studio on Thursday.
Yes, we're here on a different day next week, ladies.
다음
Thursday.
주만 목요일에 와요. So don't forget to check that out. We have a really cool remake. Yunit Singh was able to sing 그랬나 봐. I think I did. We're gonna have. Hope you wish you guys a happy Chuseok. See you guys next Thursday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.